is your why for doing this work?
I've been involved in residential construction. I was a theater major in college. I built scenery on Broadway. And it seemed really silly because today's scenery is tomorrow's landfill, you know? It just goes right in the trash. So I decided to do something a little more meaningful. I worked my way through college as a carpenter, union carpenter in Philadelphia. And I started getting into residential construction, and over my career, I built 3,000 plus homes. And everything from tract housing to $16 million estates. So at one point I had an opportunity to do a lot of USGBC, the Green Building Council Lead for Homes projects. And Habitat for Humanity was in the middle of one in Philadelphia. It was the first affordable LEED homes in the country, I believe. And so they needed some help, and I was in between work, and I said, yeah, I'll jump on that. And I got kind of bitten by the nonprofit bug. And I built 7 homes for them and another 20 more homes for Habitat, and established their the Habitat for Humanity's home repair programs there as a pilot. And then moved on to Habitat for Humanity Montgomery County. And then went back to the private sector a little while, and then I found CALV, which kind of really is a great mesh for my talents and things, and I deeply rooted in affordable housing my whole life. So this is why I'm here.
So my why, perhaps unsurprisingly, has some theological roots. In my corner of the Christian tradition, we understand humans to be created with what we call the imago Dei, the image of God, that each person bears a slice of the divine in who they are, and therefore that means they should be afforded dignity. They should be afforded flourishing and community and connection and home, and not just in the very basic essential ways, but in the really deep and profound and connected ways that help them to experience each day their connectedness to God or divine or higher power and to one another in the midst of that. So for me, the why is about seeing people's dignity as being divine and honoring that through providing quality, safe places to have sort of home as a foundation for that then higher level order of flourishing.
Lindsay gets the mic drop. So for me, it really started with the fact that I'm a planner, and that's sort of like a disease in a lot of ways, but it's also a blessing and a curse. So it's the land of the infinitely curious. But you know, in my role as a professional planner, which I've been doing for over 20 years at this point, I mean, I've seen so many different types of housing developments in urban settings, rural settings, in individual units, hundreds of units in single plans. And I think a couple of things have stuck out to me over my career. First of all, there tends to be a mismatch between what is needed and what is built. And for me, my passion is aligning the money with getting things done. And so that's really where my housing focus is gone, especially over the last several years. I also wanted to mention too that I married a home builder. Don't do that unless you really, really love someone. Never go home and not talk about housing. But that's brought me a lot of perspective as well, especially since I come from a background of historic preservation, downtown revitalization, reuse, and more green building principles. Tied in with the new, I think that has really broadened my eyes and my mind, and I really want to bring all of that together to really help this region.
That's awesome. So my why is, for the last 35 years, affordable housing has been my main focus. And my message tonight is that the architects in this community and the state, the folks that are in real estate, the folks that have any kind of opportunity to influence and support and be positive and be part of the community activities, because you're going to have a big opportunity coming up, and Sarah will talk about that in a minute, but the opportunity for you to help influence and create a healthy community, and healthy psychologically, healthy physically, healthy economically. These are all tied together. And it has to start with a vision, has to come from the community. So I've seen it. I've seen transformation. I've seen places that are written off and redlined and forgotten become communities that people choose to come and move to. People that don't know the backstory, don't have the prejudice about what used to be happening there. That they come and they see a beautiful neighborhood that's connected to its place, that's related to its context. So my message tonight is that you can do something about it. This is a huge problem. Affordable housing is a giant national problem, and I'm dealing with it across the whole country, and I have been for 35 years. So that's the first part. The second why is that I love Pennsylvania architects. And I'll tell you that love affair started with the guy in the back, Joe Biondo, 1983. Me and Joe started an architecture school together at Kansas State University. I was so lucky that we got connected because Joe's not only an architect, Joe's a developer. Joe's a builder. Joe's a teacher, right guys? So, at Northampton. So Joe's helping build the future architects of our community here, which is amazing. But more than anything else, Joe is curious. Joe has always been curious. He was curious in 1983. He's curious today. That curiosity drives him. So meet him, get to know him, and you've got a jewel right here in your neighborhood. I also want to point out a couple other Pennsylvania architects. UDA, Urban Design Associates. I've been working with them for over 25 years. They've worked on University Place, Legends Park, Preservation Square, Cornerstone Village, which I'll talk about later. Some of these projects are in Memphis, some of these are in St. Louis. The one I'll talk about later is Cornerstone Village. It's in Pittsburgh. It's a choice neighborhood. So we'll talk about choice neighborhood in a minute too. So these are just incredible practitioners in your state that have been doing it forever. Please look them up. They've got a book called Urban Design Handbook. Look that up. If you ever do a public meeting, a shred, a workshop, it's got everything you'd ever want to know and prepare for. So take a look at that. Quickly going through some other superstars. Another one sitting here in the room, Joe Hackett. He's a landscape architect. And Joe and I have been working together for over 25 years. And so he's directly involved with Cornerstone Village too. He's a landscape architect on that. Yoko Tai, with Tai Plus Lee. Cornerstone's her project. We collaborate on that. Dan Rothschild, Rothschild Dueno Architects. Please look them up. Incredible firm. And then Nando Mercalli with LRK, Looney Rick's Kiss in Philly. He and I and the rest of the team did a huge, beautiful project in Memphis called South City. So please look that up. South City at Foot Park. The last couple of phases are under construction right now. These are all examples of large-scale, mixed-income, affordable neighborhoods that have completely changed the place into a healthy, vibrant place. So that's my why.